PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Hello and welcome back to PACTV Community News. As the temperatures warm up, so does the activity in our communities, and so we have a jam-packed show for you tonight.
That's right, Julie. We bring you to a Lego robotics program in Plymouth, a pay-as-you-throw forum in Kingston, and stop into a local rehearsal for the upcoming African Children's Choir concert.
PCN takes you to Memorial Hall in Plymouth to meet the families behind the memorial displays. And then we go to Plymouth Plantation for a Massachusetts 400 forum.
Health and Wellness brings us to the Kingsbury Club for benefits of group exercise, and Town Talks brings Duxbury's town manager to the set.
It's going to be a busy show, and we'll begin in Pembroke with a successful casino night to support a growing cause. The Pembroke Titans Against Drugs is a newly formed volunteer group that's raising money to help educate today's kids about the dangerous effects of drug use. PCN recently went to their Beating the Odds casino night, where Pembroke Titans Against Drugs was raising money to help fund more speaking engagements, in-school programs, and other ways to get out important information to school children and their families about the alarming and increasing issues arising from drug use.
Pembroke Titans Against Drugs is a local coalition in Pembroke. Our goals are to help educate our kids about the dangers and susceptibilities they face around drug use. They're also to help encourage them live healthy lifestyles, make healthy decisions, have healthy relationships, and help instill some confidence in them.
The opiate epidemic is rampant throughout the South Shore, and Pembroke is not immune. So we need to not only show support, but to get information out there for everyone so that they understand that there is indeed an epidemic out there and make every effort to stop it.
Mostly parents. It's not all parents. There's grandparents involved. There's great-grandparents involved. We also have some town leaders, superintendent, police officers, Police Chief Rick Wall as well. Josh Cutler, our state rep's been heavily involved with us and helping us out at the state level. So it's really just everybody coming together. The community coming together is my goal, and so far I think we've done a good job with that. We're only 7 months young.
So we're here to help raise money for Pembroke Titans Against Drugs, a great organization here in town that's trying to help combat substance abuse, build awareness, and educate folks. And we're having lots of fun. It's all for a great cause, and hope I'm not screwing up too bad. All right, here you go. Big winner here, all right? Here you go. You got to beat me.
So tonight we've got, as you can see behind me, a casino night theme. Essentially, there's no money being exchanged. This is a $20 entry fee. Gets people some play money chips. Just playing some games, socializing with our neighbors. And we've got a bunch of silent auction items. We'll have some live auction items as well. Just trying to raise some money so we can fund some of these programs that we've come up with and that we're learning about from other coalitions. Part of the reason we're trying to raise funds is to bring in some experts to talk to our kids as well as fellow parents and our neighbors about the issues. We're always looking for help, for support. It doesn't have to be financial. If anyone's got some expertise, whether it's in marketing, communications, or research, anyone that has an expertise that they think might be able to help us, we'd certainly welcome some more volunteers and some legwork.
You're good, okay.
Think Legos are just for building? Well, the Plymouth Recreation Department has taken Legos to a whole new level. They've incorporated STEM-based challenges to solve problems such as building a Lego crank to lift a broken toy or a pulley system that lifts rocks up a hill. The program is designed to emphasize creativity, cooperation, and literacy skills. PCN stopped into a class to see more.
We have our Lego engineering class for Wicked Cool for Kids. You can see the setups behind me. We have a few different stations. More or less what we do, this is a science, technology, engineering, mathematics program. So each week we develop a different lesson plan based on our Lego kits that involve science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Today is actually one of the best days. We're wrapping up our sessions, so the last few sessions that we have are going to be a free-for-all. So it's kind of a freestyle, implementing all of our lesson plans for the past 5 weeks into one kind of big project. So whether they're doing automobiles, robots, and anything in between.
This is with the Plymouth Recreation Department in conjunction with Wicked Cool for Kids. And so they offer a number of classes throughout the entire year, from Wicked Cool Science, where they're building their own gap and everything like that. And then we also have Lego Engineering, which is what the kids are doing today. We also have a Junior Imagineers Lego building program for the younger kids. That session will start in April. And we'll also have some summer camps running that will be Lego based, and the Junior Imagineers too this summer. But the Junior Imagineers is really cool. It's for the younger kids. They'll be using the Duplo blocks. And so it'll be story based in the beginning, so a fairy tale, and then at the end of the fairy tale they'll be in charge of putting together how to save the princess, the prince, all that kind of stuff. So, but we do classes with Wicked Cool, STEM based all year long, from the beginning of the school year all the way right through the summer.
The main concepts that we implement with the program are team building and really catering also to individual needs of exploring creative sides and really embellishing on personal characteristics and how that is brought to life in Lego form. Robots, automobiles, boats, pulley systems. Most of the kids here ranging from 7 to 10 years old. However, our programs, we also have multiple programs, different locations. Also at this location, the age ranges are significantly younger as well as older. It's so much fun, it's wicked cool, and we have a blast.
Wow, what fun.
Those kids are amazing, aren't they?
They really are.
It's unbelievable what they can do with Legos today.
I know, talented children.
Very much so.
And speaking of talented children.
Okay.
Duxbury's South Shore Conservatory and the Plymouth Public Schools are teaming up with the African Children's Choir to bring 2 incredible concerts to the Performing Arts Theater at Plymouth North High School. The performances are filled with inspiration as the cultures blend their voices in song. The collaboration comes from the Music for Life Institute, the parent organization for the African Children's Choir, which outsources the group for combined concerts. The concerts are at 7 p.m. both Friday and Saturday, April 10th and 11th. You can purchase tickets by calling the SSC in Duxbury or Plymouth North High School. PCN stopped into a rehearsal in Duxbury to get a sneak peek.
Here at the conservatory tonight, we have 2 choruses practicing for the African Children's Choir concert, Pure Treble and Pure Harmony. Pure Treble is a chorus of young children from all over the South Shore, grades 2 to 5. And they have been singing together now since September. They sang with the Plymouth Philharmonic at Christmas time, and now they're preparing to sing with the African Children's Choir. It's very tricky for second graders to learn that type of thing, and the older kids sort of pull them along in the beginning, and once they gain their confidence they start to rise too, and they become amazing singers within a short period of time.
Nice job, seconds. Here we go.
Pure Harmony is our middle school chorus, and they are also preparing the exact same songs as Pure Treble, and eventually we'll put those 2 choruses together.
Okay, 1, 2, ready, and...
Collaboration between the South Shore Conservatory and the Plymouth Public Schools. There are approximately 80 students from Plymouth that are also preparing the same music, and we will be putting them together with these 2 groups on the last week before the concert, and then finally we will be putting in the African Children's Choir. children's choir usually tours small venues, churches and things like that. And a couple of years ago, Bray Barnett, the founder, called me up and said, I'd really like to try something new. I'd like to get these children together with their peers from public schools, from conservatories, to perform together, and to sort of instill in the children from the States especially a sense of global awareness and humanitarianism and volunteerism. We started this last year where we started this collaboration with the conservatory and with Plymouth schools. But in Plymouth we had one concert, and in Duxbury we had another concert. Both of them were huge successes, sold out. And this year we decided that we were going to do 2 concerts in Plymouth and all the children would sing together. So this year is a really big change from last year, and we're really excited to put all these groups together to sing. I went to an African Children's Choir concert many years ago, and I was so inspired that I actually went to South Africa. I volunteered. That's what I took away from that concert. I don't expect people to take that away from this concert. They may, that would be really great, but what I think they will take away is just such inspiration. They're just going to leave there with so much joy and hope, and they're going to see themselves differently as well.
In the interest of reducing waste and increasing recycling numbers in the town of Kingston, the town held a forum to discuss a pay-as-you-throw program. What this means, in short, is, if implemented, people need to buy specific bags for their trash, which has proven very successful for several of the South Shore towns to increase recycling and reduce the cost of permit fees. This forum was just a way to introduce the concept to the public and get their feedback. PCN stopped in.
Cooperative for helping us to assemble the knowledgeable members of our panel.
This is the first opportunity for us to present information on pay-as-you-throw to the residents of Kingston. This is an idea that was brought to us last year by Mr. Craig from Waste Zero. The Superintendent of Highways, Paul Basler, and the chairman of the Recycling Committee, Gene Wyatt, had talked with him and thought that this was an idea that should be presented to the town.
I represent Mass DEP, and Mass DEP supports and promotes pay-as-you-throw as the single most effective means to reduce waste and increase recycling. Pay-as-you-throw is a program, a unit-based program where users pay for each unit of trash they dispose. As a result, folks recycle more because they're paying for each unit of trash.
I'm here as somebody who was once not a big fan of pay-as-you-throw, but over time I became a huge fan of it, and now I'm a tremendous proponent of it. A number of places on the Cape and the South Shore have adopted pay-as-you-throw, and they've realized that there's tremendous savings to be had as a result of it.
People think it's a new tax, but with a transfer station, as many of the communities have done, they lower the permit fee quite significantly, so people have their own responsibility. They can throw as little trash out as much as they want, and they usually their behaviors just change with trash, and they recycle more. They find places to put the textiles, electronics, etc.
Well, I think anytime you have any change, people do have concerns, and understandably they want to know just how it's going to impact them, if it's going to mean additional work or additional money.
We adopted pay-as-you-throw in Duxbury in 2008, so for the last 7 years we've had a pretty good experience with it. We watched our solid waste numbers drop dramatically and our recycling numbers go not through the roof, but they did increase significantly, so that we saw tremendous savings to what we were paying for disposal of all of our solid waste.
The whole point of this is that we're looking for ways to save the residents and the town money in disposing of the trash.
You have to show all the pros and the benefits and realize that you're going to cut your trash at least by 44%, so you're not going to need 3 or 4 bags every week.
I hope people will ask a lot of questions tonight, get information that's going to be helpful to them to understand how this process would work, and if they like what they hear, get behind the action to put this in place. Ultimately, it is a decision of the Board of Selectmen. I'm hoping the other members of the board will be here tonight, but we do want to know how the public feels about it, make sure we address all their concerns.
As As the Plymouth 400 draws closer, Plymouth isn't the only community with a 400th birthday on the horizon. Though Plymouth is the first of many Massachusetts communities to be celebrating a landmark birthday, it marks more than just a milestone. Massachusetts invented America, was said by former Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick, and the organizers in charge of the 400 celebrations couldn't agree more. Recently, Plymouth 400 teamed up with other major historic communities for Mass 400th Forum to talk partnership at the Plymouth Plantation. Together, the goal is to create one of the most memorable American celebrations the country has ever seen.
The goal of today is partnerships. The goal of today is state agencies who are here recognizing what needs to be done and helping all of us move forward to do it. The goal is ultimately to have our legislators understand what the economic impact is and what the investment will need to be.
We have a vision for 2020, and we have to put the talent, the money, and work in to make that happen.
The Massachusetts 400 Forum is an opportunity for the many communities that are turning 400 over the next 15 years, starting now and through 2030, with 2020 and Plymouth being the first, to collaborate, to hear about our plans, and to find ways that we can, throughout the next number of years, come together and share educational, cultural, and other assets so that we can really elevate the tourism impact of these next 15 years.
It's the fact that there's a lot of people that will be excited about this because it's an economic engine. And I know for a fact that this economic engine is going to be significant. A community can't have an international celebration all by itself. And so fortunately we in the Commonwealth have done and have helped and have participated in ways, and I know it's difficult. And lastly, I think the important part is to get the federal government to understand the significance of what this means.
We do know that that just the town of Plymouth, for example, currently sees about $350 million a year in visitor spend, and we project that it will be 4 times that, conservatively, in 2020.
The 400 means company is coming, and we better be ready for them. I hope you will feel inspired today to think that we can all play a part in offering educational programs, exciting cultural events, moving and meaningful commemorations and memorials, and much more besides. The 20s is going to be a great decade for tourism in Massachusetts and throughout New England.
A big event and certainly significant for our communities.
That's right. We're really lucky to live where we live, and there's so much going on. It's really cool to look into the future.
It is, but also to remember those who have served our country, too. If you've ever been to an event in Memorial Hall, you've seen this life-size mannequins of departed soldiers. Each one proudly shows their accomplishments in service, and each one has a story. PCN had the privilege of meeting up with a few of the families who are eager to tell us about their loved ones, who they were, how they served, and how they are missed. There are stories from hometown heroes.
My son Stephen and I had one thing in common. We had a special relation. We would do all kinds of things together. We'd go to sporting events, go out dinner, a few things like that.
He was a great brother to his older sister Cheryl and younger sister Karen. Looking forward to coming home from the military and enjoying life with them and hanging out with his friends.
Some things that somebody might not know about Kevin is that he is one of 4. He is the oldest boy. He's the oldest boy by about 12 minutes because he's a twin. His twin brother is Michael, his oldest sister is Lauren, and the youngest is Rick. He was Killed April 18th, 2007. He had been in the military about 9 months at that point. But those 9 months were wonderful for him. He enjoyed all of his time there. He had nothing but good things to say about it, and like I said, he excelled in what he did. So we were really happy for him and very proud of him.
Staff Sergeant Matthew Pacino is my brother, my only brother, and he decided to join the military after 9/11 because of 9/11. And once he joined, he decided he was going to become a Special Forces Green Beret. Failure was not an option for him. He went through 3 years of grueling, intense courses and training, and when he came out, he was awarded his Green Beret. He then went into Special Forces 5th Group, and from there went on to the 20th Group based out of Maryland.
Sergeant First Class Robert Rooney, my husband, he chose a military career rather young, shortly after high school. He started out with National Guard. He continued with his services. He did almost 30 years. He loved education. He loved children. He was very active in fundraising for scholarships for children who were less fortunate. This is a great honor to our family, friends, relatives, tourists who have been able to see it. It's like everybody else feels, that they will never be forgotten. There's different emotions, mixed feelings. It's sadness, it's happy, it's honor, a lot of different feelings, but honored to be a part of this and for all the work that Mr. D and Roxanne and all the others have done to make it real.
Our family doesn't do any kind of fundraising or an annual event to mark Kevin's life. So for me, in particular, having this here, it marks him in time so that generations to follow, as well as our family, know that he was here and know that he did something for his country, and he did it with great pride. It's, I don't think I have words to thank Bob and everybody else for what they have done at Memorial Hall to set up this display for everyone.
When Matthew was killed, one of the missions that we decided as a family was that Matthew's name would never be forgotten, and this display in Memorial Hall has been another vessel that we can use for Matthew so that no one will ever forget his sacrifice.
To parents, you got to have that relationship with your sons and your daughters, because no matter what life will throw you, it could throw you a curveball and things could change. I'm so proud of him. I can't say any more because he was my son and he did what he wanted to do.
What a very moving story. Our health and wellness segment brings us to the Kingsbury Club in Kingston to learn about the benefits of group exercise.
I'm Kim Sweeney from the Kingsbury Club, and I'm here to talk about fitness. This morning we're going to work on small group training and the values and differences between small group training and personal training. It is appropriate for all age levels, and male and female. It just so happens that most of my participants are middle-aged here, and we have a lot of fun with that, but we can work with anybody, injuries or not. All right, so today we're going to start out with a stretch, and then we're going to lift some weights, and we're going to do some yoga at the very end for finishing up for overall whole body wellness. People choose it because they want to have private training without having to really worry about other things. You know, they want to fit in, they don't want to go to the group sessions, and they still are committed to a time frame, but they really enjoy the camaraderie that we have. A lot of the benefits are the fact that you're committed to a program, you see results. The average person, 96% of the time, totally quits their programs. They don't have any real direction, and this puts them in, this week we're going to work on this, we set personal goals, we can take charts, measurements, weights, whatever you feel like doing to keep track. Day staying committed to the program is huge, and that's my job, to hope that people continue to stay committed and or continue to come to the gym or wherever they work out. However, they do see great results, because the ones who fall out always see the difference.
Right foot back.
Some people fear coming to the gym, and one of the benefits of group training is the fact that they feel more comfortable. They join with a friend, they get to be friends with folks, and they're not as intimidated by it. As a trainer, I hope to eliminate that intimidation factor. Some people feel like they don't fit in because they don't have the right workout clothes, or they're overweight or not fit, but we all make it happen.
Tonight's Town Talk segment brings Duxbury's Town Manager Rainey Reed to set. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
We have a lot to catch up on since you've been here last. Let's start with the town meeting that you just wrapped up.
Well, we had our town meeting on March 14th on Saturday a couple weeks ago, and it went pretty well. It went 2 days. It went all day Saturday, and it went into Monday night. We covered a lot of ground. We covered 12 articles on the special town meeting, and we covered 41 articles on the annual town meeting. So the voters approved all but 3 articles, interestingly enough. They approved the budget, which came in around $71 million, representing just under a 2% increase overall. So things went really, really well. The 3 articles that didn't pass muster with the voters were related to a wetlands protection overlay district proposal that was brought forward by 3 citizens' petitions.
Okay.
The voters decided that it needed a little more time to be vetted out through the Conservation Commission and the Planning Board, and so that's where those articles will return. We may see them again in coming years, but this time around they didn't have the support. But it was a very productive town meeting, and I think people were pleased with the result, that we got it done in 2 days, and we covered, like I said, we covered a lot of ground, so it was a good time.
Was it well attended?
For the town meeting that it was probably on average roughly around 250 people.
Okay.
One of the things that we did at this year's town meeting was a new innovation. We instituted electronic voting. So now, yeah, it worked out really well. The voters chose to use it as a demo for the 2nd year in a row, and then they voted to fund it to the tune of around $36,000 for the base startup cost. It won't cost as much in coming years, in future years, because it's based on the number of participants. So we now have a handheld unit that you can vote, and you do it, of course, in privacy. It takes about 30 seconds for each vote, and you just press 1 or 2 for yes or no.
That's great.
Yeah, it worked out really, really well. It's very accurate, and it allows people to not have to raise their hands, and in some cases, some folks don't want to do that, and we understand that, and the voters did as well. So it's a new innovation, so we'll see how it goes.
It's working. That's great. Beach stickers.
Beach stickers, we are in the process of having people renew their beach stickers because they come to expire on March 31st. They can be renewed online or at the town clerk, at the Treasurer Collector's Office in Town Hall. If you want to do it online, you can visit www.town.duxbury.ma.us. Or just Google Town of Duxbury, Massachusetts, and it'll bring you right to the website, and it's very easy. It's very user-friendly.
Okay, and that's something you got to do pretty quickly. What about the transfer station stickers?
That also is another innovation that you can do online. Those stickers are we had for several years what was called an OCR technology, which was a license plate reader, so that we didn't need to issue stickers. But we found that it didn't work as well. We saw a lot of people coming in that might not have had a sticker, so we wanted to go back to the sticker system, and we think it'll work better. It'll be a lot easier for the folks that work at the transfer station because they'll have that visual reference. If they see a bright yellow sticker on your car, they know that you belong there. Again, those stickers expire on March 31st. And so you have to have a new one as of April 1st to get into the transfer station. We're encouraging people to do that sooner rather than later because we do allow a little bit of a grace period.
And in our last minute, the Board of Selectmen is going to be asked to approve something about road races.
Yes.
Talk about that.
This coming week, I'm going to recommend to the board that they look into a road race policy. We have a large number of road races that occur in Duxbury and all over the South Shore, and we want to see if there's a way to perhaps limit the number of road races over the course of a weekend. Limit it to 1 a weekend instead of 2, like a Saturday and a Sunday. So either Saturday or a Sunday, because the residents have voiced their concerns about traffic and congestion and public safety as well, because it's a burden on them to try and deploy their resources out there to make sure that they have adequate coverage for safety.
And you think that'll pass?
I do. I think the board's receptive to that. They talked about it at the end of last year, and I think this is making that next step forward to help them out.
Makes sense, right. Okay, really quickly, dredging?
Dredging. The town was awarded $4.5 million from the Army Corps of Engineers, and we will begin dredging Duxbury Harbor this September, and it'll last all the way into December.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, we're thrilled. We're thrilled. It'll be a great project.
A lot of good stuff happening in Duxbury.
Absolutely. That's the way we like it.
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank Thanks for watching. Replay times are listed at pactv.org or catch us on YouTube. Follow us on social media to catch previews and links to all of our stories. Good night, and we'll see you next week on PCN.